Hello, welcome to SQL02pro.com. This is Hassan Mir. In this tutorial, I'm going to talk about the basics of data modeling. First of all, what is data modeling? Data modeling is the process of exploring what kind of data needs to be stored and then finally creating the data structures accordingly. Okay, so in short, data modeling is about looking at the environment and then extracting the relevant entities from the environment relevant to the application that you are developing, and finally you will end up with the right tables. Okay, so after studying the basics of writing select statements and some other SQL statements, I think it's time that you should learn what data modeling is, because the problem is most people finally get to learn how to write SQL statement, but they don't know why the table is created and why the structure of the table is created in a specific way. You have to go through a process called data modeling before you finally create a table. You just can't create tables and create columns in that table according to what you're feeling. There is a process that you go through, and you finally create columns based on the outcome of that process. Okay, so the bottom line is that I'm going to show you the right way of going through the process of exploring the environment and then extracting the right entities from the environment before you finally create the tables. Okay, so the bottom line is that what you do is first you list all the relevant entities in the environment. Okay, in coming tutorials I'm going to tell you what entities are. In short, entities are things of importance in the environment. Not all things are of importance are relevant, because what you need to take a look at, what kind of application you are developing or what kind of software you're writing, right? You're creating a back-end structure for some kind of application. So there would be tons of entities in the environment, but only few will be relevant to whatever application you're writing. So you list all the relevant entities, and then you list all the relevant attributes of that entities that would be needed in the software that you are developing. For example, the employee is an entity. Okay? Employee is an entity. Department is an entity. And for example, another entity would be a warehouse of a company, which might not be relevant to the software you're writing. You might be only writing a software which would be managing employees and departments, so you will not include the warehouse in your list of entities. Now you're talking about the attributes of an entity. We can talk about attributes of an employee. So employee can have tons of attributes. Okay, employee would have a phone number, would have a home address, would have a work address. For example, the software you're writing is not going to manage the home addresses of the employees, so that would be out of scope of the software. So you're not gonna count home address as in the list of attributes that you're creating for each entity. Okay, so this is just a summary of each step I'm giving you at the moment, because we need to explore each of this in detail in coming tutorials. Once you have all the list of relevant entities and list of attributes for those entities, then you need to find out what is the relationship between the entities. There could be three relationships between the entities: one to one, one to many, and many to many. You need to really find out if there is any relationship, and if there is, then what kind of relationship is that.